frighten men?
I don't know. Do I frighten you?
Yes. You give your heart away easily.
I'm afraid so. Yeah. Look, I'm not sitting here feeling like, oh, it's hopeless. I can't have a relationship with anybody, you know? A lot of times people say, well, when are you going to run for president or whatever? Well, I don't know. Be careful what you wish for is what I say.
That's right, you might get it.
I'm gonna keep my baby, tropical island.
Are you able to get up in the morning, look at yourself
And go,
fall
ugh,
around
with a
this
dog.
stuff? Yes, quite.
Yes.
La bonita, I hear your voice. It's like
You've had enough suffering.
No, I haven't, actually. I'm Catholic, remember?
So am I.
Name one person who doesn't like power. Sometimes I think I don't enjoy my success enough, or I don't have enough time to just kick back and have a good time. What are you gonna do? Talk to me. Tell me your dreams. Am I in?
Well, as you know, wild horses would normally drag me from my little grey home in the west of London. But for the 1000th edition of Wogan, we've come to the Mediterranean. In May every year, Cannes becomes Tinseltown on the Riviera, where all the huge glitterati gather. However, the biggest star of all rarely graces the town with her grande présence. But she's getting all the attention. She is, at least according to her manager, the biggest star in the whole darned universe. And for the 1000th programme, I've come down here to talk to her. Madonna.
Well, now, correct me if I'm wrong, but it does take a good one to get past me. You're a brunette, aren't you?
Yes.
Is this just a change for the sake
Well, I'll
of
tell you what
change?
happened. When my tour was over with, I was going to let my hair grow out because it's really brutal on your hair to keep bleaching it all the time. I mean, this is my natural, this is the color I was born with, and it's tiresome to bleach your hair all the time. It really is, and it's painful. So when the tour was over with, I said, okay, that's it. My hair is going to be dark again. But then they asked me to do Evita, and she had blonde hair, so I kept keeping my hair blonde for the movie. And then when it looked like it wasn't going to happen, I said, oh, you know, screw it. I'm going to be dark. I can't keep doing this to my hair for Disney. So now I'm dark.
So has the change in hair colour in any way changed your personality?
No.
Made you more tempestuous, perhaps?
To have dark hair?
Yeah, stamp the foot and all that a bit more.
Oh, no, I
more
was
Latin.
doing that plenty when I had blonde hair.
Does the kind of pressure you're under here give you any chance to get out and about and be at least partly anonymous?
Oh, no. Anonymity is not a possibility, during the festival at least.
Or at any time, really, is it?
Well, I don't know. I mean, every time I've come to Cannes, it's been when I've been on tour or something, so generally people always know I'm here. And I don't know, maybe in a week they'll grow tired of following me around. So.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I mean, there are loads of big stars here, figuratively as well as metaphorically. I mean, you've got Schwarzenegger and Dolph Lundgren and De Niro and Eddie Murphy, who's small but dynamic. And you're the one who's getting all the attention.
Yeah.
They must be spitting blood.
Those guys?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think so. I mean, I think Arnold and De Niro certainly get their share of attention.
Yeah.
I don't think they're feeling neglected.
So what about In Bed with Madonna, which is what it's going to be called in Britain? The opening for that was last night. How is that?
It was wild.
Are you happy with the result?
Yeah, I'm very happy with the movie, and I think it's been really well received here and also in the States.
It covers the Blonde Ambition tour, isn't that right?
Yeah.
how much of it is for real? How much of it is... Was there at any point during the shooting of it that you felt you could forget the camera?
Yes, there were many points in the film that I forgot the camera, and there were many points in the film that I was very aware of the camera. I think we sort of covered all areas in terms of, I mean, there were some very set up things where we knew what we were going to do and we improvised on a theme. We knew what we were going to talk about. The director Alec would say, okay, go sit in this room and talk about this. And we knew it was like a little improv scene kind of a thing. And then there were sections where I absolutely there were so many things going on, and the camera literally was documenting what was happening, and I didn't even know it was there. So it runs the gamut, but to me it's irrelevant what's true and what's not true, because even when you know the camera's there and you're playing to it, there's something very revealing about yourself in that even.
Warren Beatty, in the course of the movie, implies that you're only real in front of a camera.
Well, he says, no, what he says is, she can't live her life off camera. Why would she want to film why would she want to do anything unless it was on camera? And everyone likes to ask that question. But my opinion of that is that, that Warren is actually speaking about himself. When he says, you can't live your life off camera, what he's saying is, I could never let someone follow me around. I would never want anyone to know me personally. And, you know, we're very different people. And, you know, I set out to make a movie about my life for 6 months, and that meant to film everything.
Great. Take a breath. Good.
This is crazy. Nobody talks about this on film?
Talks about what?
The insanity of doing this all on a documentary? Well, this is a serious matter, your throat, yes?
Why should I stop here?
But does anyone say it?
Who's anyone?
Well, anyone that comes into this insane atmosphere, you realize they all feel it when they come into this atmosphere.
I mean...
When they come into your dressing room, when they come wherever you are, they feel crazy. Now, do they talk about it?
No, they accept it.
Well, why don't they talk about it?
Because.
Well, you want to think about that, don't you?
No, I don't. So let's get back to me.
If you want to talk at all off camera, you have nothing to say.
She doesn't want to live off camera, much less talk. There's nothing to say off camera. Why would you say something if it's off camera? What point is there of
What's that?
existing?
I think it was very brave of you to do this.
Yeah, well, it was.
And you had no regrets. You've never had any regrets. Did any of your advisors say you shouldn't do this?
Yeah. My manager was horrified the whole time we were doing it, because he comes from the old school that Warren does, and that is that you have to have mystique about you all the time, and that people won't be interested if they know, you know, what you look like without your makeup on, or what, you know, when you're upset, when you're feeling tired, you know, you have to cloak yourself in this, you know, Garbo-esque, you know, aura of mystery, and that you will lose your appeal to people. But I don't agree with that, and I don't think that it's possible to reveal yourself completely.
What do you feel about certain parts in the film, about a young audience watching them? There are risque parts in the movie.
I don't think there's anything in the movie that the youth of America or Europe, for that matter, are not aware of or exposed to already.
When, in parts of the film, the Toronto police want to ban you and all the rest, and the thing that's surprising about that is, it seems to me anyway, that you're quite surprised that they should want to ban you. And
Well,
you'll give
I
offense.
certainly know that some people are outraged by my behavior, but I was quite surprised to find out that I may possibly be arrested for my behavior. You know, after all, it is a performance. It's a theatrical performance, and it's not like I'm going out on the street, you know, running around without my clothes on. You know what I mean? I was shocked to know that that in the context of a performance, that someone would find it so offensive that they would.
What are you trying to achieve on stage?
Well, in this particular show, I did, as I said, I did very much see it as a piece of theater, you know. I portrayed sort of lots of different characters, and I say this in the speech to the Vatican. I say that it takes you on an emotional journey, you know. So I portray many things, life, mostly.
Do you think the older generation approves of you?
The older generation?
Yeah, older people. Do they take a more censorious view?
I don't know. I think that the intelligent older generation with a sense of humor does. But I think people my age, there are plenty of people my age that don't appreciate me or approve of me, and younger. I don't think it's just the older generation.
What does that make you do? Does it make you annoyed, or does it make you want to change?
It doesn't do either. It makes me laugh. If people are really annoyed, it's one thing to not, if you don't like somebody, you don't like them. Okay, I don't like this person's music. Okay, so I don't listen to it. But if people are really annoyed and really vocal about it, and they get upset and they rant and rave, then it makes me laugh, because obviously I've touched something in them that they're having a hard time dealing with, and I think it's very telling about them that they're so annoyed by me, you know?
How much of your whole image, how much of your whole performance is tongue-in-cheek? How much of it's done with this? Is it all done with a sense of humor?
I think, yeah, I do. I think it's, a lot of what I do is, well, not a sense of irony, you know? I think it's good to see someone, a performer or whatever, and say, oh, does she mean that or doesn't she? Because it makes you ask questions, and it makes you see that there's two sides to every story. And everything isn't cut and dry, everything's black, everything isn't black and white, you know? So, and I think that I try to make that clear in my work by being tongue-in-cheek. So, I never want to be taken completely seriously. I think that that's the death of anyone.
Of course. Well, that is the problem, isn't it? That people think you mean it most of the time, don't they? Do you mean everything you say?
I mean everything I say, but in terms of like my performance and stuff, I mean, certainly in my last show, much of what I did was tongue-in-cheek, and I mean, I'm being very sincere with you right now, but when I present a performance, for instance, and many times in my songs, there's a sense of irony that most intelligent people see it. And the people that don't, well, they don't. I mean, everyone can't love everything that you do.
You seem to lead from the front. Indeed. Would you say that people are frightened of you?
Sometimes, yes.
What is it about you that frightens people?
My boldness, because I'm very confrontational,
Yeah.
you know, and I think it's hard for people to hide from me when they meet me.
Are you frightened of anybody yourself?
I suppose I have been, yeah. Yeah.
What makes you nervous of people?
I feel the most nervous around people who can't be honest with me, who can't look me in the eye, who are afraid of really presenting themselves to me and being honest.
Were you always powerful? Were you always confrontational? Have you changed?
I don't know if I've always been powerful, but I certainly have always been confrontational, yes.
Do you like being powerful? Do you like power?
Who doesn't?
Not everybody. Do you like
Really?
the ex? Do you
Name
like...
one person who doesn't like power.
No, everybody wants to be famous.
No, it's not just fame. It's power is, anyone can have power. I mean, it's how you feel about yourself. It's how you carry yourself. It's the effect that you have on people. It doesn't necessarily, it's not synonymous with fame. And I think that I don't think you would find a human being on this earth that wasn't interested in power.
Yes, it's how you exercise it, of course, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you think you exercise it properly?
Yes, I do. Yes.
Is anybody likely to tell you to your face if you don't?
there are many people who disagree with my opinions and my points of views and the way that I live my life or carry on, and they're welcome to their opinions.
But within your own circle, is there anybody who ever disagrees with you?
Yes.
What do you do to them?
What do I do to them?
Yeah.
I have them sentenced to jail and I have their heads cut off.
Yeah. But what I mean is, do you welcome
I listen to,
disagreement?
yes, I absolutely insist on it. I don't want a bunch of people, you know, running around kissing my ass all the time. I prefer people to be really upfront and honest with me. I don't mind that because it gives me a chance to explain not only to them, but once again myself, why I do the things I do.
The thing that I notice about, that everybody notices about you, so you'll excuse me if you've been asked this before, you seem to reinvent yourself every few years. Is that a conscious thing, or do you just get tired of yourself and say, I want a new Madonna every couple of years?
Well, I don't think it's a question of getting tired of myself, but it's like it's all different aspects of my personality, and I just kind of I focus in on different aspects of my personality, and I kind of get very involved in it, you know. I mean, like sometimes I'll feel very vulnerable and that's how I'll appear. Sometimes I'll feel very strong and that's how I'll appear. I mean, I don't think there's a big difference between what I do and what, say, De Niro does when he gets completely involved in a character, and for that 6 months or whatever, he walks around all day long with his, you know, weighing 40 pounds more than he does, with long hair or whatever, and he completely changes, you know, his appearance. And, you know, obviously he's searching out, you know, I don't think an actor chooses to do roles in movies that he can't somehow relate to in some way, you know. So, in a way, I think it's very similar. You know, I'm just kind of acting out different parts of my personality.
Does it strike you that sometimes, for instance, if you feel your popularity is flagging, that you must be more outrageous, you must do something else?
No, that's my personality. I've always been that way.
How about your life now? As we look out here, we can see a huge yacht out in the bay. And
Not my yacht.
Joan Le Pen. No, that's my one.
Oh.
But it's a fine yacht too. But as you look out at it, the good life, etc. Do you ever stop and think, what am I doing here?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
And if you look back on the hard days, maybe not bad days, but hard days in New York, what do you think about? Do you think, how did I get here?
I say, wow, you know, a lot has changed. I've come a long way. Sometimes I think, God, did I know when I was 17, sitting on the fountain in the middle of Lincoln Square, wondering if I was ever going to have a friend, or wondering what was going to happen. Could I ever have imagined that this would happen to me, you know? And I can't, you know, it's unfathomable sometimes.
When you were there, did you have dreams that you would be where you are now?
Well, I had dreams, but I mean, I didn't know what the south of France looked like. I'd never been anywhere except Michigan and New York, so how could I even know, you know?
Have you ever thought of running for political office?
Well, I guess I have thought about it, but I'm kind of politically ignorant about a lot of things, so I wouldn't dare to exercise that notion at this point
But
in my life.
you are a role model. You're a strong woman. We've had a woman prime minister in Britain. You've never had a woman president
Yeah.
in the United States. Have you any hopes, dreams?
I make jokes about it. A lot of times people say, well, when are you going to run for president
Yeah.
or whatever? Well, I don't know. Be careful what you wish for is what I say.
That's right, you might get it. Is there a mother in you?
Yeah.
You seem to be very motherly towards, perhaps motherly, but maternal anyway,
Yes.
towards the dancers, for instance, in your
Yeah.
group in the film.
Yeah.
Would you like to have children?
Yes, I would.
How many?
Oh, I don't know. But to start with one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you found anybody that you'd like to be father to those children to settle down with?
No. Unfortunately.
There is again, a bit in the film at the very end where you say that Sean Penn was the only one the one
He was
you
the man
really
that I loved most in my life, yeah. So far.
Yeah. Do you see a chance that you would get back with him and
Well,
perhaps
he has
have a family?
No, I mean, I still love him, but I have to be realistic. I mean, he has his own family now, so it would be foolish of me. But, you know, you can love someone, you know, I don't think you can spend many years of your life with someone and then, even if you're not together, just stop having feelings for them. You know, I'll probably love him till I die.
Do you give your heart away easily?
I'm afraid so. Yeah. Yeah.
And do you get hurt easily?
Yes. But I pretend that I'm not, of course.
Of course.
Yeah.
So you're very honest and straightforward, but there is, everybody has some kind of facade, haven't they?
Oh, yeah, yeah. If I'm hurt, I try to cover it up with bravado, of course. It doesn't matter to me. Big deal, whatever. But, you know, I think people do that all the time.
Because of your fame, because of your power, because of your confrontational personality, do you frighten men?
I don't know. Do I
Men that-
frighten you?
Yes. Do you, I mean, men that you might think are attractive, which lets me out, but men that you might think are attractive and you would like to get to know better would be afraid to come within 100 yards of you.
Well, I just say, look, if they're not, obviously I couldn't be with someone that's afraid of me. So, you know, it's not like I'm a big surprise to people. If a man sees me and they see the life I lead, everybody knows the kind of life I lead. You know, if they're willing to come within, you know, 20 feet of me, then I think they pretty much know what's going on, you know. And if they're frightened of me, then they shouldn't come near me.
What chance have you got of a normal, if any, a normal relationship?
What's a normal relationship?
Well, an ordinary man and woman relationship that isn't constantly exposed to press speculation or the media.
I don't know. I mean, look, I'm not sitting here feeling like, oh, it's hopeless. I can't have a relationship with anybody, you know. And I think a relationship, especially in the lifestyle that I lead and in the business that I'm in, is very difficult.
Do you have time to be sad about that, or does that occasionally
Time
make
to be sad?
to be sad about it?
Of course I do. Yes. I mean, fame and fortune isn't everything. So.
You don't regret it though. You don't.
No.
There's no point where you say.
No, because I have loved and I've had a very good life.
You were brought up a Catholic.
Yeah.
Are you still a Catholic?
Not a practicing Catholic. I mean, there are things left over inside of me that I probably, unconsciously, I am a Catholic, you know, things that are hard for me to get rid of.
Did the Vatican coming down hard on you, did that make you resent Catholicism? Did it make
I already resented Catholicism, yeah. I mean, I resented it as a child. You know, I thought that there were many unfair things about Catholicism, things I didn't agree with, and that just, you know, made me feel even stronger about that.
So what about the prayer before you?
But I, you know, I don't think you have to be Catholic to pray, or practicing Catholic to pray. And I still believe in God, and I think prayer, for me, it works. You know, I think religion is best when it's personalized. You know, I'm not any specific religion per se, but I'm a spiritual person, and I think prayer is useful for me. And I think it's good when you're like about to go into a battle or play a game or whatever, you know, an athletic game. I think it's a unifying thing. It's a way to get people focused and get together, and it was a really important part of being on tour, and it's an important part of my life now.
Are you a team player or are you an individualist, would you say?
I'm both. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you ever look in the mirror and say to yourself, I wonder if I've got myself wrong? You don't seem to me to be somebody with any doubts.
I have many doubts. I have a zillion doubts. You know, every time you think you figured something out, you wake up the next morning and you go, well, maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Oh, maybe I don't know myself as well as I thought I did. I mean, that's what growing up is about, you know.
Do you miss your mother still? The mother who
yeah.
died when you were so young?
Yeah.
Do you think you'd be a different person if your mother was still alive? Or would your stage act be the same, do you think? Your
I probably
performance?
wouldn't be in the entertainment business if I had had a mother.
Really? What do you think you'd
I have no idea. I'm just sure things would... I mean, it was a very big thing in my life. It changed me. It made me... It turned me into the warrior that I am. I mean, because it hurt me so deeply that I said, okay, I will never need anyone again. I'm going to... Since I don't have my mother to love me, I'm going to... And my father is spreading his attention with 8 brothers and sisters. I'm going to go out into the world and make the world love me. I mean, this is what I say to myself as a child. This was my catalyst for doing the things I did. If I'd had a mother, I'm sure I would be doing something completely different.
What about your father? Is he a benign influence on you now? I mean, there's an element when he comes in and applauds your show, obviously, but he has some reservations about it in the film.
Who wants to come? And when?
Well, whatever, you know.
I mean, Dad, I'd love it if you'd come to both shows. I don't know. I mean, it's pretty racy in some sections. I don't know if you could take it 2 nights in a row.
Oh, you had to get racy on me.
Dad, I'm not getting racy. I've been racy.
I know, but can't you tone it down a bit?
What, for you?
Yeah.
No, because that would be compromising my artistic integrity.
Well, of course. You undress in this performance?
No.
Oh, God.
Of course I don't.
Okay. Well, whatever you guys can get us tickets for,
Dad, I can get you tickets any night you want to come.
would be great.
And just tell me how many tickets you want. Well, my father's, I think the way my father's learned to deal with my career and the craziness that surrounds my life and the controversy and stuff is just to sort of, I mean, he has a very large family, and my father's had a really tough life himself. And I think that he sort of lets things roll off of him instead of reacting overtly either way. Instead of being really ecstatic and happy, I think to keep himself from being really upset, he just sort of goes like this, and that's been his method of survival through the years, you know. And he doesn't treat me differently than any of my other brothers and sisters, and sometimes I think, oh God, you know, why doesn't he get excited about the things that I've accomplished? But on the other hand, I'm relieved, because then I can come home and not feel like a freak or something, you know. I'm treated like everybody else, and it's probably the only place I am.
Are you ever lonely?
Yeah, sure.
Are you more lonely than you're not lonely?
No. No, because I'm fortunate. I have some good friends. So I can always call them up.
Your friends remain the same to you as they did, as they were before you became rich and famous? Or have you
Not
just-
everybody. I have a handful of friends that were my friends when I first moved to New York. And they're still my friends, and of course they're my best friends, because I know, I mean, they've remained my true and deep friends all these years, no matter what's happened to me, and I appreciate them the most.
The movie Dick Tracy was, well, in my opinion, anyway, was probably your best so far, I think, in terms of critical, anyway, reaction to it. But you didn't get paid anything for that, did you?
No.
How come you got paid so little for that movie?
Well, because I really wanted to do it, and they weren't offering anybody money to everybody. In fact, Al Pacino didn't get paid either. That's how Warren pulled it off. He got everyone to sort of do it for a favor.
And he got all the money in the end, did he?
Yeah, kind of.
That sounds like good business to me. Is money important to you?
Only when I want to buy a painting that's really expensive. Yeah. Then it's important. But honestly, not that important, no.
Could you go back to being what you were, without any money, without position, without people running around after you?
But I could never go back to what I was. I don't think anyone can.
If it all fell down tomorrow, if
it all fell down tomorrow, I'd still have all the money that I've earned. I'd still have my friends. I'd still have my family. So I wouldn't have to work another day in my life. I could live a perfectly wonderful life.
Do you ever feel like doing that?
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever feel like giving it up? I mean, do you ever feel, oh, God, I'm fed up with this?
Yes, sometimes I do, yeah. Because I work really hard, and sometimes I think I don't enjoy my success enough, or I don't have enough time to just kick back and have a good time. But I think, you know, well, maybe I should just go live in a cabin in Louisiana or something, you know. But I know I would, you know what, I would go live in a cabin in Louisiana. I'd start organizing the farm, you know what I mean? I would, eventually, my personality's traits would come out again, you know.
So it's no use. How long is it since you've had a holiday, for goodness sake?
God. Well, on Easter weekend, I went away for the weekend. So that was my last holiday.
Holiday, celebration, come together in every nation.
Is there a danger that you take yourself too seriously?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, no. No, I never do.
Are you able to get up in the morning, look at yourself, and
go,
fall
ugh,
around
what a
this
dog.
Yes, quite.
Yes. Yes, I do that every morning.
And what about the fitness? You're jogging in the morning that you do. You run for 6 miles, don't you?
Sometimes more. It's doing me. It's actually a time when I meditate. So it's spiritually, it's great for me. It's when I sort of tune everything out, all the problems, all the stress, all the requests, all the demands, all the expectations, and I just run. It's very, it sounds really corny, but it's really Zen-like, you know what I mean? It's the time that I escape. And so it does me a lot of good.
How are you going to keep all those balls in the air that you've kept so successfully? For a long time now, you've kept in the forefront. People might say, oh, she's slipping, and then back you come with a bang. You can't keep doing this, can you?
I don't know. I don't do it for other people. I do it for myself. I mean, I don't sit in my room at night going, oh, God, how am I going to keep everybody interested, you know? But this is just what I'm thinking at the time, what I feel like doing. And if I grow tired of being in the public eye, or I grow tired of, I just want to take a break, then I'll do it.
Yeah.
I don't feel the pressure that I have to keep. I mean, I've accomplished a lot. I don't think I have to keep going and doing the same exact thing all the time.
You go back to being blonde again, will you? When
Maybe if a role requires it in a movie, but I'm actually quite relieved to have dark hair right now.
you wouldn't go redhead on us.
No, I don't think that would look very good on me. I think I need to have freckles or something.
Yeah. Are the changes that you make calculated, or are you a creature of instinct?
Instinct.
You love and hate on an instant, do you?
Yes, I do. I'm very impulsive. Yeah.
Well, I hope you'll retain all those characteristics, and it's been a great pleasure to talk to you. Thank
Thank
you
you.
for joining us and talking so freely and so
Thank
well.
you.
Thank you. Madonna.
You're not